Moving on from Justin Fields, unfortunately, might be a reality for the Chicago Bears as they could use that number one overall pick on a quarterback in this upcoming draft, or they could slightly trade that pick back, get a couple mid-rounders, and still stay in the early first and still draft a quarterback. But in today's show, I'm going to go over 3 spots that the Chicago Bears could deal Justin Fields to that would make sense for not only the quarterback, but the Chicago Bears as well. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Brody, and as always, thank you for tuning in. Just to start things off, we're not getting a first-round pick for Justin Fields. Just putting that out there. But in today's show, I am trading Justin Fields to either the Atlanta Falcons, the Las Vegas Raiders, or the Pittsburgh Steelers. And before I begin today's show, if you have faith in Ryan Poles that he is going to do the right thing this offseason, no matter what that means at QB1, make sure that you smash the like button on this video. Also put your thoughts in the comment section below where you want Justin Fields to go, what you would take, and if you want him dealted out of Chicago. I know that it's a very split conversation right now, guys, but it could be a reality. So just putting it out there, what could happen? And before I start off today with hitting on the Atlanta Falcons, please make sure to hit the subscribe button on this video to help grow the channel. And it'll help you stay up to news on all Chicago Bears news and updates. So the trades that I'm doing today are very similar to the one that happened a few years ago that dealt Sam Darnold from the New York Jets to the Carolina Panthers, which at that time, the Jets traded Darnold for a 21-6, a 22-2, and a 22-4. The NFL's changed. Things have also gone in a different way from regards to trades, so we could get more than that. But in today's video, I think it's very subtle to say that the Bears could get a similar trade package from one of the 3 teams. To start off, we're going to hit with the Atlanta Falcons, who are in a very interesting situation as they're a team that could break out if they bring in a quarterback this upcoming offseason. Along with that, they currently have the number 14th overall cap this offseason with about $29.8 million before roster cuts and contract extensions. Their starting quarterback last year was Heineke, who in his 1 year left on his current contract with the Falcons has a $7.2 million buyout with a $2 million dead cap with that if they wanted to move on from him. But he really didn't play all that much last year. He was injured a lot of the time. He had less than 1,000 passing yards. Isn't the answer for this roster. A very hard playing player. I have a lot of respect for Heineke, but he is not the answer for the Falcons in order to go to that next step. And honestly, Justin Fields plugging in and playing in there in Atlanta in his home city could be a good move for him. So currently the Falcons own the number 8, number 43, number 74, number 79 via the Jacksonville Jaguars, number 109, number 141, and number 198 via the Cleveland Browns. Tons of early picks that Chicago could get in a trade for Fields. And though the number 8 is not early enough to get a top 3 quarterback in this upcoming draft, I don't think they're going to be willing to ship that off for Justin Fields. So in my ideal trade with the Falcons, I'm sending Justin Fields to the Falcons for the number 43, number 141, and a 25 third. Atlanta isn't far off from being a legitimate team. A lot of people think they are truly a quarterback away, and Fields is more than ready than any rookie that would step into that building. And this trade would allow Atlanta to keep their top couple of picks, specifically their top 2, to build their roster, along with having a more advanced quarterback to help build this team even more. And remember, assistant general manager Ryan Poles drafted Justin Fields when he was the general manager of the Chicago Bears. So you have ties there, and he potentially could be calling Chicago asking for his guy. The second team I'm going to talk about is the Las Vegas Raiders, who are actually in one of the best cap situations in this upcoming offseason, right behind the Chicago Bears. They have $43.4 million in the bank, a ton of draft picks, and they can kick their rebuild into gear very quickly, considering they fired literally the entire staff, have a new head coach coming in, and this team might not be too far off. They're not going to want to send a haul to the Chicago Bears, but the Raiders do need a quarterback moving forward. In order to get that number 1 pick from Chicago, though, they would have to probably send Max Crosby. At least that's what we all want them to do, along with a couple of our first. The Raiders might say, let's go for someone worth a little bit less, but could be a lot better than last year for this team. and that could be Justin Fields. Along with, on top of that, is that Luke Getsy might be the Raiders' next offensive coordinator, a guy who's worked with Fields the last couple of years. Could be technically a plug and play out there in Las Vegas. So the draft picks that the Raiders own is number 13, 44, 77, 112, 146, 208 via the Chiefs, 220 via New England, 224 via Tennessee, and 226 via Minnesota. And in this trade with the Raiders, I would accept number 44, number 112, and a 25 third. If Getsy is hired, Fields knows his offense very well. Could be, like I said earlier, a plug and play situation. Along with that, Fields gets a fresh start in Las Vegas with a lot of weapons over there already on that offense, and he could take off, along with allowing Las Vegas. I still say that sometimes. Las Vegas to still get top talent with their first couple of picks. Could be a good situation for them just to go out and get Justin Fields. And then the Steelers situation, one that many people might not be thinking about at the moment, but the Steelers did end the season last year 10-7, but they're at a pretty bad cap situation. They're currently $14.3 million in debt, and yes, they can make some of that up by, restructuring some contracts, releasing some guys, but they can't land a big name quarterback in free agency. They are the number 20 pick at the moment, so also they really can't get a top quarterback with that either. And I really think Pittsburgh is a quarterback away from being a good team again. So their quarterback situation, by the way, is absolutely terrible. They rotated 3 guys this past season by the names of Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, and our good friend Mitchell Trubisky. Not a good situation for the Steelers. I think that if they would have had a quarterback like Justin Fields, they would have won even more games. 10-7, still very impressive. But upcoming picks are number 20, number 51, number 84, number 119, 120 via the Raiders, 196, and 237. And I would accept from the Steelers, considering the Steelers are farther back than the other 2 teams, is I would take number 51, number 84, and a 25 third. They need a starter to plug into Mike Tomlin's offense, who I think is going to be back as the Steelers head coach. I mean, 10-7, that'd be like firing Lovie Smith again for the Bears, which they should have never done when the Bears were 10-6. But overall, the Steelers have made the playoffs again. They're still a good team. They're still young. They have a great defense. They really were a quarterback away, in my opinion. Tons of young weapons that Justin Fields can get to know. And if they had Fields again this past year, I really think they would have been at least 11-6 or 12-5. Steelers have a lot of weapons. They can run it back, and Justin Fields would fit very well in Pittsburgh. Out of all of them, I would trade Fields to the Raiders because out of the respect for the Chicago Bears, he's going back to a guy that he knows in Luke Getsy. As much as you want to say, some quarterbacks might like that. I've never heard Fields say anything bad about Getsy, and that's even after the season. He is a classy guy, I give him that, but it could be a good situation for them. Raiders have a good defense. They have a lot of picks. They have a lot of weapons for him. Overall, could be a good combination for Justin Fields out in the desert. But I would honestly still take the Raiders pick. I think it's good overall picks for them, the Bears, to get. It addresses those needs in the mid-round picks, and overall, it allows the Bears to go out and get their quarterback of the future. Put your thoughts in the comment section below. But with that, thank you as always for tuning into this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rhodey, and as always, bear down, baby.